I wanted to make a video why most of us get stuck and how do we get unstuck. During or just during kind of my journey through meditation and learning about how our body supports us when we need it the most. While most people think that it's good to just be stuck on diagnosis and to hustle our whole life trying to fix ourselves. And at the end of the day, all we get is that we're treating symptoms of what we're suffering through. And there were so much things that meditation has healed through, anxiety has healed through meditating every single day. How that has transformed my life kind of changed because during kind of the first years of meditating, it wasn't pleasant. It was so uncomfortable. It was outside my comfort zone. I didn't feel like, waking up and doing it. But the minute or the moment that I started to do it every single day, it became a part of my life. Not just that, but it also, improved kind of my focus and having to be more grounded in myself. You see, I'll tell you what happens when we're not grounded. When we're not grounded in ourselves, we are not grounded in our relationships. We're not grounded in our life, our careers, our path, doing anything that we do that truly brings us joy. That excitement is still there. But with meditation and like practicing that mindfulness of like looking around us and seeing just the little things that really can shift our perspective. I'm not saying that you should do it for an hour or 30 minutes, or some people can go to extents. They could do, somewhere from 20 minutes or 10 minutes to 30 minutes. And the people who are very into meditation, they tend to go longer, like about an hour or so. And while I've not really done an immersive hour kind of meditation, but just a few minutes, like 50, 10 to 15 minutes, have really kind of centered me, right? In a position where it's aligned with who I am. And it that gave me a lot of strength. When I say strength, what I mean here exactly is that it gave me kind of the courage to tap into something really powerful, something maybe I've not or wouldn't have experienced if meditation wasn't part of my life. Now, you may be listening to this and thinking, like, I can't really sit for like 5 to 10 minutes, let alone doing a 30-minute or 20-minute. You could literally start with 5 minutes every single day, 5 minutes. You don't have to stick to 5 minutes, but the more you're going to do it, the more you're going to extend it, the more you're going to just see the journey and where it leads you. What is it like to be in that kind of state of meditation? What does it feel like to truly immerse yourself in it? Can you have more clarity? Would you have more expansiveness in yourself so that, you could also support other people and you're more present with other people as well? So, if you're someone struggling with that and like you can't sit for a few minutes, one thing I would say about that is you can start with 3 minutes, you can start with 5 minutes, and slowly you can, you know, extend your duration based on your comfort level and how much you kind of expand. Because we don't want to fight or battle when we're meditating. We don't want to go into meditation and being like, hey, I've got many thoughts and I have to not think about anything during meditation. Well, it's not exactly that. But while doing it, you can still have thoughts will still exist. No matter what we do, we can't just shut down what's in our head. The thoughts, the chaos that's happening, we cannot really shut that, right? But one thing you could do is, can I bring my awareness to something that that I feel good about, right? Something that I feel excited about. And even if it wasn't the most biggest amazing thing, it could be just bringing my awareness to my feet, my sensations. Am I feeling cool? Am I feeling heat? Am I feeling maybe there is this trembling anxiety. There is probably a lot of things that might come up as you know, you meditate. The purpose is not to really push it away or say that I'm not feeling it when you are actually feeling it. It's about being honest, right? And the moment those thoughts start to come up, you could either choose to follow those thoughts, you can choose to go with it, believe it, and wanting to do something about it, which normally doesn't work. Or you can be like, it's sitting in acknowledgement of like, hey, I'm feeling like that. And like these thoughts are coming up, but I don't have to really stay focused on it because the more you stay focused on it, the more you're trying so hard to actually get yourself out of that state. When because during it's something that you must feel, something that you must experience. So it's not about getting away or avoiding, because that's another thing that most people might do is that they avoid the very thing that they must bring their attention to in order for it to release, its energy from it. So starting with 5 minutes to 10 minutes and then 20 minutes and then maybe 15 minutes, and then you can extend it. But it is a practice, right? Like when kind of I started doing it, it wasn't like, on the go, like, yeah, I got it. And it was almost like a journey that I had to go through in order to kind of let itself be revealed to me, right? So during that time when I started, it was this chaos, right? That there was this chaos in my head and like there was disturbance and kind of in my body and like really kind of wanted to bring attention to myself, almost like I was running away by focusing myself somewhere else, which can happen in all its way. Um, so bringing that state of groundedness, right, into your life, and how can we really take that and bring it into our relationships, bring it into kind of the people that we speak with, bring it into our careers to have more clarity, to do things that really lights us up, instead of like something that really, it doesn't fuel us. Because that can happen too, is that when we're in chaos, when there isn't any balance in how we feel, how we act, we tend to act from fear. We tend to act from our past wounds, our traumas. We tend to act from place that is not grounding, a state where you wouldn't really want to be in, right? And that's one thing I kind of realized throughout this journey, right? Is that you cannot take away the thoughts, but you can bring your attention, towards ease or like, inner sensations, or that's kind of how the anxiety started to dissipate, is by just acknowledging that these are the thoughts, but it's not me and I don't have to identify with them. The moment you start to identify, you make it your own identity, you make it you, and you start to feel this whole like baggage of responsibility that you have to carry behind your back. So kind of through meditation and mindfulness and really bringing our attention towards um what feels like lightness can ease the tension. So with that practice, with that state, um you'll notice things start to shift. Maybe the way you see things are maybe more lighter, or maybe the way that you communicate yourself, or that the way that you speak about your needs, and how that brings um that's valuable to you because you care about someone or you care about that relationship. So you want to bring the goodness in you, but in life there's always the good and bad. So we cannot really leave an aspect of us because we want to focus on the positive or the good, because we all have this duality in life. You can't exist without having both. So this is kind of this whole video is about um bringing more presence into our life, bringing more kind of intention, bringing more mindfulness to our life than just being in a chaotic state and making decisions from that place, which, at the end doesn't serve you nor people around you. And even if it were to serve it that way, it wouldn't be purposeful, it wouldn't be aligned with who you are. It would probably come from, from a different state, from a different place. And while you can um improve that, you may also come through or experience challenges that you thought were never existing, but because these things just naturally happen that we think we don't have any choice. But once we start to just realize that there is a different choice, there is a different path I can take, and it all comes down to seeing the other side of things and not really focusing on the problems or the stress or the fear or the anxiety or um, these things that can really challenge our ways of life, our values, our just basically everything. So I really want you to take a moment and, notice where that might be happening in your life. There's no maybe presence in your relationships. There's no maybe presence in your, career. Maybe there's no presence in just the everyday chores, the things that you do every single day. If that is not there, then, it must be like a time for you um to actually come back to that state and realize that it's not going to change unless you actually put in the work, unless you actually notice what's happening. Because without awareness, we cannot really change that. We cannot really have that state of presence if we don't invite, you know, I guess the word would be like openness or having a different kind of eyes view on it, right? Because we can have different perceptions and different things we can focus on. But the one thing that is hard to focus on when we're in that anxious mode is that we cannot make clear choices. We don't maybe say things that we mean. It's probably coming from that wound or that emotion, right? And then we end up regretting, why did I say this or why did I react a certain way? And this is why it happens, is because we're not grounded. We're not in a state of mm, I guess clarity or peace, or we're not connected. And then when we're disconnected, what happens is nothing is aligned with who we are. We cannot really bring our focus towards anything that is of value because there is this noise that's going on. There's perhaps, different opinions of people, or how we must be in this society, and different things that it pulls us away from the truth, from kind of our inner wisdom, from things that makes us us or makes you you. And with women, this is what tends to happen. Like we go into relationships, we connect with people, and we end up feeling exhausted because it's not valuable to us. We think it's valuable because that's what's right. That is what is deemed the best. That is what's been told to you from maybe you were 8 years old, or that's kind of your conditioning. The moment we come out of that conditioning is then we start to see that things are the way they are right now because I'm viewing it from a different lens. And meditation exactly helps you with that. If you're so connected to your feelings, there might be resistance, but you're not deflecting it. You're not like, oh, no, 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 it doesn't exist. It's still there. And a part of it is acknowledging it. is like saying, yeah, something like that exists within me, but that doesn't identify or doesn't say that, I'm this person at the end of the day. So this video is, for you to, I want to really see that, to really see where your choices are coming from, to really see where in your life you're not being truthful, you're not communicating what is important to you, you're not showing up as your best. You think you need to be a certain way because everyone liked that persona of you. And through meditation and, practicing that stillness, you can see more clear. You can see what is your ideas, your opinions of you, and you can distinguish between what's yours and what's theirs. And that's where your power comes from, is recognizing that this is my truth, this is what's happening. People also have opinions, and it's okay. And I don't need to change their opinion of me. All I need to do is connect back to what matters, what is truly me, and what actions would I take from that place then. It's probably going to be a different, um, there's going to be different choices coming from that place, which is more honest, more grounded. So I hope this helps in any way. And let me know in the comments what you thought and if this was helpful. Also, would really like to hear what resonated with you the most. I really like to read kind of everyone's opinions and perceptions or your journey. If you're a meditator, if you're not, I would be so happy to converse and, help out. Take care, everyone.